New Jersey. That is a good-looking car.
Keith Mayers out of Ellendale, Delaware, running 2 cars here. He's running his Alfa Romeo Roadster. You'll see that in a couple of minutes. And this 98 Firebird he just got his hands on. Pretty mild car, big block Chevy engine, running 750 index here. Mayers is a national event winner many, many times over in multiple sanctioning bodies in the Super Street and Super Gas categories. And now he's going 750 index racing down here.
Just a blip away from little gangsters. You're that good. You know, you got to get a car to run the number. But
oh, I got a feeling by the time we're back here next year, Mayers is going to, it'll probably be this thing, be running 530s by the time and he went red. By 0.004 of a second, he went red.
Man, well, Ammons won't mind as he goes a little too quick at 663, knowing that he had the wind light blasting in his face down there at 104 miles per hour.
I treat the guy like Don Garlits. He's going to do that to me? He goes double four. What are we doing here?
That's all right. That's what they're expecting of you. Here comes our next one. Look at the wagon, man. It started to jump out there and say, hey, relax, guys. Chill out. Back up. Let's redo this.
Nico Kravchenko, we got to thank him for the donuts and the sandwiches he brought up yesterday. George Henson of Pasadena, Maryland on the other side of the racetrack.
Good-looking wagon. It's an oldie, huh? 67.
Yeah, really neat car. You don't see a lot of 67 Falcon wagons at the drag strip or anywhere else for that matter.
Even showing off the crank on the back to bring the window down.
Yes, it does. Old school.
It is. That's some old school stuff there. They're going to go down 750. Can Nico get that win? No. Nico will be up there saying, man, I don't know what. I got to get my motor fixed in my fast car.
Yeah,
anyway.
he had to run the daily driver and just couldn't run the index. He went 779, and Henson was way out, decked the brakes, and went 757 at 80 to win in the wagon.
I like this car, man. Well, I like the old Chevrolets, and this one looks like it just rolled off of the GM floor down there. Coming up here in the tower side, Ken Etchinson out of Sarasota, Florida, 68 model, 355 small block. Who's in the right lane, Brian?
That's Jim Pierce over there from Lakeland, an 82 Camaro, the 383, so a first and third gen car. Etchison's car has the big block hood on it, even though it's got a 355 small block in it, but he's still rocking what they call the ice cube tray hood. Pierce going to crank his way into the right side on the Motion Raceworks side of the drag strip. Welcome to those folks just rolling in the gate here this morning at the Redline Oil World Series of Pro Mod. Kicking things off with our index categories. 460 motorcycles. Please bring them into the beams. 763 for Etchison, loses to a 761. 28 thousandths differential. Jim Pierce gets the win in that third gen Camaro.
Man, if that isn't gorgeous down there, if you were a kid, a young kid, well, in my age group, you always wanted one of these. I don't care, the black or the red one. This is a gorgeous car right here. Tina Perez coming up. Ellsbury, Missouri, I believe. 78 Pontiac Trans Am. Who's in the right side?
Get a good look at it, because that's the last time that Screaming Chicken's going to be making any sort of noise today. As Keith Sandry just absolutely dominated the starting line. 772.
Wow.
Beats a breaking out 742. But yeah, Tina Price's car is killer. It's the best of both worlds. I love a 78 Trans Am, but they had the 400 or the 403 olds in them. Didn't make a lot of power.
The olds
they put a 455. They put a 455 in that one, so it's all Pontiac good.
So, cluck, cluck, here comes Drew right here. And it's Drew Buckner. Is it Buchner? How do you say that?
I'd go Buckner.
Buckner. He's coming up in the orange machine. Aren't you glad he's here out of Ontario, Canada? 85 Camaro. 572 cubic inches on board.
Adam Cohen from Ocala, Florida, the second most famous drag racer from Ocala in the Eliminator Chevelle. And the Eliminator Chevelle will be back for the next round as Drew Buckner's car kind of pushed its way through the beams and he went red. He also ran 660 on a 750 index, so that he was holding a little, as they say.
There you go. He did a nice wheel stand.
He did.
That'll be memorized in your mind for the rest of the weekend. That'll bring up a little pickup truck coming up in the right lane, and oh wow, that's nice.
The soccer mom, Donna Bush, the 2018 Trackhawk. You take the Hellcat drivetrain, all-wheel drive, stuff it in a Grand Cherokee, and that's how you got a Trackhawk. And Art Shiver from Palmetto, Florida. Shiver. And that 85 S10 truck with a 406-inch board and stroke small block Chevy.
After that little dry hop there, I don't know who's braver, her for driving that thing or the guy standing in front of it.
They got an 8-speed torque flight in them, and the gear nice and short. So like the 0 to 60 in these things is awesome. I mean,
really,
with all-wheel drive, it is. Yeah, it'll plant you right in the seat.
Well,
weighs about 7,000 pounds, but it gets out of its own way.
Good-looking soccer mom truck. Here we go. SUV taking on the S10 over there, Bart. Scheiber down there, leaving there. Wow, look at that thing. I don't know if that's wheel hop or just airbag hop. That thing was just bouncing everywhere.
Shiver's going to not break out, and he didn't. 7:59 beats a 7:55 on a hole shot. Art Shiver had the better reaction time. Barrett Green coming up right now. Brian Stovall, Green out of Texas. That is the man. Announcer, model,
look at
bon vivant, man about town.
Buddy over there pumping the fist down
in the
there.
Fairmont. And BG, the man with the beard hanging out of the helmet, heats the tires in the Snowbird Fairmont. Brian Stovall.
And of course, you could tell just by the burnout there that he has not read the rule book, but it's all right. We'll let him go. He's John Garlitz for the day, man. With burnout.
Brian Stovall, the 85 Regal, a 350-inch small block, burning the Mickey Thompsons right off the back of the thing out of the water box. So we'll see what Barrett Green can do. You've heard him on the mic at various races around the country. One of the guys that works alongside Jimmy Dale, Mike Poland, and the boys to put on a whole lot of great events everywhere. Texas, and you name it, they're all over the place. Red light start for Green.
He matched his beard.
Yes, the beard color and the bottom of the tree, unfortunately, are in incongruity with each other. Stovall went 7:51.3, almost right on top of the index.
Look at him on the video over there. The buddy's getting in there. I told you we shouldn't have let him drive. I told you.
7:60 with a 7 for Green after the red light start.
Good stuff, man. 7:50. Here we go. Jacob Grieve coming up in here out of Arcadia, Florida. He'll be in the S10 83 model. Here in the tower side, who do we have over in that good-looking Mustang?
Steve Posino, the 2022 Mustang right-hand side. Coyote Power, 302 cubic inches of dual overhead camera fun. Went 7:53 in the time trial lanes. Grave went 7:35, so he's going to be working a brake pedal like a tap dancer down there. No, he's not going to have to. Posino handed it to him with a red light start.
And the crowd goes nuts down there. All his crew's like, yeah, we got the win there, Jacob. You go, man.
Oh, man. Posno's going to drive this thing right off into the bean field down there. He went 7:51.1, loses with a 42 red light. The other guy went 7:66.
If you curve a little left, there's a swamp there you could park that thing into. 7:66, good deal. Here comes a hitter. This guy's a hitter, Dean Thompson. Chevrolet always hit this track, seems to go laps in its 72 model Nova. He'll be in the left lane. 427, big block, Chevrolet Nova.
Peyton Shook, Northport, Florida, 95 S10. Heating the tires. 460 index bikes rolling in the lanes right now.
Love the old school jack on the hood there on the Nova. He's probably got a Dominator, needs to breathe under there.
That was the deal, what, you put a set of lighter springs or something on? Is that how you got that to happen?
Well, you just put shims in there.
Just shimmed it up.
Rig it up so you get some air because the carburetor goes, if it's a Dominator.
Right to the top of the hood.
Yeah, and it doesn't work too well.
No, you're right. That is old school speed tips going on down there.
So he'll go down and get it going on. Dean Thompson, let's see how he does off the tree there. He's got a little bit touched better off the tree. Well, too quick in the right lane. He's going to give it to him at a 7:52, 788 miles per hour for Thompson.
Thompson had the advantage on the starting line by a couple of hundred as well.
I'm going to roll up a good-looking Pontiac, a Bob Kennett right here out of Bradenton, Florida, 87 model year. 383, crate motor under the hood there, number 12 qualifier. Who's on the right side?
That's Matt Trich on the right side out of Parrish, Florida, the 1997 GMC Sierra. This is a cool truck, man. If you love those OBS, that generation of GM trucks, it's got a big block in it. I'm guessing it's probably street legal. It's just cool, man. It's like all the factory trim and everything. It's just a really nicely turned out truck.
You had me at big block.
Yeah.
Slamming a big block in that little truck there. How about it? Well, they came from the factory, didn't the little black one?
The SS454s, yeah, with 230 horsepower. Matt Trich goes 762 on the 50 index for the win. Kennett, a 783. He's not quick enough to get there.
Ooh, did someone get out the old Dow? How about that? Dennis Kitterman coming up here. That is cool, man. Holmes Beach, Florida. It's been a long time since I've seen a bug. But man, it's cool to see 63, the model year with the little roll-up tarp on the top.
Yeah, the retractable roof would have had what, a 36 horsepower, legitimately 36 horsepower air-cooled motor in it.
I'm glad
to
you know
start
that.
with.
Did you start that in a young age, learning about VWs?
Yeah, no, 36. I think the Super Beetles were like 45 or something like that. But yeah, Curtis Mahoney, Parrish, Florida, right-hand side, 95 S10.
You get up on the chip here for Dennis. There we go.
And he's pedaling the thing, so Kitterman's just going to try to fender him at the finish line, and the Bug is knocked out of competition. He was too. He let Mahoney drive by.
He got on flypaper. It looked like he slowed way down.
Mahoney passed him by 84 10,000ths of a second in the truck to knock the Beetle out.
There's Steve Canizzo. Get ready, man. Nice to see you. CRT Transmissions. He'll be in the 650 index with his gal, Faith Frost, and her Mustang. Hope they do well. Here we go in the right side, A.J. Kelly, Jacksonville, Florida. 88 model S10.
This is the buy here in 750. We're going to move into 650 index and the creamsicle out there for A.J. Kelly.
Yeah, that or he's delivering motors for Jasper.
Or the orange Julius.
You remember that?
Oh man, there was no better thing to go to a shopping mall if I bug my parents enough.
The hot dog and the
fat little Brian used to get an orange Julius, and everybody was happy. Yeah.
No,
you could smell the store, right?
You could smell the store.
Yeah, you could. They had the citrus thing going on. Tony Jarvis, Bradenton, Florida, formerly of Massachusetts, owned an appliance company up there. He traded it.
That is a neat looking car.
That's nice, man. It's just nice.
That is a neat looking car, man. I like that.
Dewey Harding, right side, 77 Camaro, 412-inch small block engine.
Well, Dewey up there getting that thing to leave pretty good, man. He got that thing right up in the air, down there to the stripe. Oh, Dewey goes too quick by 5 on the numbers. 51-1. It's going to take the win for Tony Jarvis, left side.
Yeah, Tony's a tough guy to draw in the first round. 11th thou over the index.
Dude over there in the right lane was going to go through the cattle grates, man, on the burnout. Got that thing straightened out, the old Chevrolet. Here comes a nice-looking Corvette.
Yeah, Rich Bruno out of Clermont, Florida. 1981 Corvette. Get the removable roof panels in it. For the second time, that thing's got a World Series of Pro Mod magnet in its nose. It was trying to run over the barriers.
Man, that thing looking for some action here. Hopefully it goes straight off the starting line this time.
I think they got one tire at 100 PSI and one tire at 10. I don't know who's reading the air pressure.
Steve said they hired.
Yeah.
The official air gauge guy with the. Here we go, man. Keep your eye on him. That's what you wanted, a full foot of throttle right there. Chevrolet Corvette better thump that throttle just to be safe. Well, he didn't listen. It's all right, though. I mean, I would have looked to my right and said, I don't hear or see.
Rich Bruno, the bravest man in America, took a half a second of stripe. And that bravery was not rewarded, so the Corvette's done. Two of my favorites, Jim McMullen's 89 Regal, but Rick Russell, the 79 Dodge Little Red Express truck. It is not breathing through the exhaust stacks. He's got some big sewer pipes coming out from under the front fenders, but 394 cubic inch, I believe, Chrysler small block in this thing.
Going to be cool to see. I haven't seen one in a long time, man. Little red truck.
All the woodwork on this is perfect. It's, I mean, this is like
wood. Is it all?
It's like a restored truck that has been powered properly. The little Smogger 360 that would have lived in there when it came out from the factory has long been thrown in the garbage.
Well, it's going to be about the starting line here. Watch the blue car. Oh, man. I told you to watch. Not that mesmerized on it, man. He goes red, 014 red. They both go too quick, but it don't matter. 49 with a 6, man.
So Rick Russell, this is how you know it may be your day. Russell had a 2:43 reaction time and ran 6:16 on a 650 index and has a winning time slip in his hand.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Christmas came early, baby. Yeah.
Here comes an old Dodge right here on the left side of the racetrack. Pat Nanny over here, Bradenton, Florida-based, Dakota. 373 cubic inches in the old pickup truck, and he'll wait on the truck in the right lane.
Yeah, Chad Neal, 86 S10. Nanny's B5 Blue 2000 Dakota, left-hand side. You know your full Mopar guy when you go with the old petty blue color on there?
Edging that baby in there. Here we go. Got down to the green down there. Wow, what a light there for Nanny. He finds that tree, cuts it in half. Down there, can he get a wind light with that deal? He sure does. He goes 003 on the reaction time, 6:55 and a 50. A little slower, but that reaction time gave him a win down there over Chad Neal, 6:53 at 104 miles per hour.
Another member of the Neal family, I do believe, coming up next. No, that's actually Kevin Brewington. Driving, I think, a car that may come out of the Neal family fleet. 88 Camaro right side. Law agrees with the Neal family fleet comment. Derek Goris out of Bradenton, the 86 Mustang. Grump lump style scoop on the hood. 383 small block Chevy engine.
Right lane's got the power, man. You could tell by when they left the starting line. Down there, oh, he did have the power. I told you, too fast, man. 6:42.8, 103 miles per hour, but a 51 flat at 103 is going to give Goris the victory down there to come back for round number 2.
Folks coming in the gate, fans settling in their seats as we are rolling through our index round 1 here, folks. Just giving you an update for those of you who have just come in. Your timing's perfect. We're going to roll through our index cars, our 460 motorcycles that put on a great show are coming up next. And then Pro Mod round 1 will be following that.
Benny awesome, going to be really awesome. We got here just in time. Both concessionaries are wide open on both sides of the track. Make sure you get a bite to eat, something good and cool to drink and enjoy. Bradenton Motorsports Park here for the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod. Third race on the Winter Series. Here we go. Mark Horton goes down. He'll get the win. Wow, Horton ran right on. 50 with the 0. Not bad. Here's Faith Frost coming up now. CRT transmission sponsored Ford Mustang. Steve Canizzo, her
executive secretary of the Al Tucci fan club. She receives and opens all the fan mail
at the Moose Club, the Moose Lodge.
Yeah, the Moose Lodge.
You would have loved to go down there.
She gave you the secret password and a handshake and everything.
I'm going to tell you what. If we were both in our 30s and single, we'd be rich today because the women in there were driving some stout cars, man.
Brian Shook, Northport, Florida, the 87 Blazer. And the Blazer takes Faith Frost out, 6:54 at 99 miles an hour. Frost goes to 6:63 at 101. Had the better reaction time, but the car didn't turn the number.
Too bad for that because she won a 49 earlier, so in testing yesterday. So they tried to get that thing dialed in right there. But next 2 coming up, look at that big old truck.
Malcolm Ricks and Gerard Kelly. Ricks going with the extended cab 94 S10, able to stretch his legs in there. Gerard Kelly, the 2021 Mustang.
Got the jelly bean tumblers on the back end.
Red light start for Malcolm Ricks.
That's a good looking car. And he's going to get down there with a victory at 6:51 for Kelly. I don't know what happened. Ricks left before the tree was activated, huh?
Yeah, I think the thing was very shallow stage. I think it might have rocked out of the beam.
So Heather Blackburn coming up. 6:50 is the index here, Taylorsville, Kentucky. Aaron Cole will be in the left lane. Cole over there in the 1973 Plymouth Cuda will be over here. Cool car, man. Cape Coral, Florida. 6:50, closest one to the 6:50 index here. Will come back for another round of 6:50 index racing. Let's watch and see. They get into the lights. They're in. Lights are down. Cuda's going down there, looking for a place to get tight on the track down there at the top end. How about that? Too quick, 48 for Heather.
Yeah, 51. Aaron Cole, well driven. Aaron Cole, well driven. 512 too, a wedge big block stroker motor in there for Aaron Cole.
And that'll bring up the John Marconi Chevrolet Corvette out of Vero Beach, Florida. 6:50. The man with the 2 twins. Girls are probably all grown up now, right, Law?
Chuck Ziegler out of Villa Park, Illinois. This guy's got a pretty impressive resume. Class racer, is runner-up at major events across the country, looking to put some money in his pocket here. And he will certainly win the first round. John Marconi saw a ghost out there, and he left way too early, so Ziegler will cruise it down, save the equipment, run 685.
John had to crack the door open, too, on that test down there to get some fresh air. You couldn't believe it. He was gone, and problems for him. Ziegler, good job, man. Chicago, Illinois. Good hero of mine. Anybody who can come up from Chicago and do some good racing, go some laps.
Squire Muncie from Wamana, Florida, right-hand side. 71 Nova. 7 Nova with a 56 Chevy style paint job on it. That thing's actually pretty cool. How it has the kind of spears on it, and then it dives down in the back. That's like a 56 Chevy Bel Air style paint job on the Nova, and a 3rd gen Camaro with the old Plexi scoop heating the tires
those old
right now.
Scoops on there? That's pretty cool to see that, man. Bringing back memories. That there's a Southern thing. If you go back to the 10.5 Outlaw Racing,
kick it in neutral and rip the throttle.
Yeah, and everybody had their plexiglass scoop.
Oh yeah, the Plexi scoops.
No, you remember down there when the 10.5 was pretty big and the racing? All the Southerners like those plexi. I don't know if it's so you can see if the carburetor is working, or you know what I'm saying,
or if it was on fire. The check engine light. Squire Muncie out of the gate first, but he breaks out. 6:49.8 at 102. Muncie got too aggressive at the finish line, and the 3rd gen Camaro 6:51.7 gets a win light.
Well, let's go flashback, Brian. What year would it be? Flashback, the Monza here.
1980.
We're back there in the 1980 range, and a little Monza comes up to the starting line, and you're ready to rock and roll right here with Vic Singer Jr., Summerfield, Florida.
Dave Fulton in the Monte Carlo goes on the right side. Couple of really strong reaction times here. Vic Singer gets it done. 53 beats a 6:62. Fulton's car couldn't run quick enough.
Go Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti, man.
Dylan Adams of Sicklerville, New Jersey. And Dustin King, the 1963 Nova in red on the right side.
He gave me a look like if this was a hockey game, I'd be in the penalty box right now.
Force, you were in there all day yesterday. You don't need any more time in a box. 460 motorcycles, 460 motorcycles. Load them up, helmets on. You're coming around next.
Good stuff. Chevrolet Nova. I like this one, man. Little short, cute little car. 63, the model year. Here we go.
Dylan Ammons nibbling his way in there to the pre-stage ball, being very deliberate on the staging process. Don't want to go too deep and turn it red. Yeah, Ammons is running 650 and 750, and this is where the car seems happiest as he goes through. 651, he loses. Wow, Dustin King got him on a hole shot. 53 beats a 51 by 84 10,000ths of a second. Better reaction time to Dustin King in the Nova.
That'll bring up some muscle coming up here in the right lane, man. Terry Lockwood over there, Sedina, Ohio, ready to go in the 69 Chevrolet Camaro. Be over there ready to make it happen. Oh, and Orange, you're glad he's back again for this category. Here he is again, Drew Buckner, Ontario, Canada. To all my Canada racers, thanks for coming out to Bradenton, Florida. And thanks for buying houses all around Florida. I mean, it seems like a lot of them are living down here now to support their habit of drag racing. So Buckner will be down. Man, the sun don't make it brighter. The color is, man, that thing is bright.
Terry Lockwood out of the Buckeye State, and Lockwood is out of his own race car. That is never a good sign.
It's got white interior.
Unfortunately, Lockwood's car had water coming out of it. Will not be making the run, so it appears Drew Buckner will have a competition single. It could be stuff that was caught in the body from the rain overnight. Not sure if it's out of the engine or not.
So if you check your stuff, you left your doors out or whatever, you know, sometimes rain builds up in the door itself. Got to be careful, man. Make sure. There was a lot of rain last night. So Drew's not going to mind. Drew's going to go out there and try to cut the 3:040 on the reaction time. He'll go down. Can he get a number? Yep, 6:54.8 at 107 miles per hour. Sorry to see Terry going away that way. Terry, I got to tell you, though, you got a gorgeous car, man. I know you didn't want to hear that, but that is a good-looking Chevrolet.
Keith Mayer's coming up and Chris Bruno here. Lockwood actually drives his car to the racetrack, so wow.
Really?
That Camaro, that's a street-driven car, so that may explain some of the water trapped up inside the body. Tough break there for Lockwood.
And a big welcome to Artis Houston out here this weekend. Thank you, Artis. Thanks for the get well deal. It was nice to see. I wish I would have ran
Artis
into
is
you.
here this weekend?
Artis is, where are you sitting, Artis? Stand up, man.
Dude made the trip all the way from the West Coast.
Yeah, great
Nice.
racer, man. Great guy. Chevrolet Nova lovers. Had his for many years. I never got the chance to race him. Never got mine finished. Still over there at that chassis prison.
I've heard of cars getting stuck in chassis prison. Yours is sending 2 life sentences in there.
11 years, man. 11 years, and the gas cap's in the back.
Chris Bruno and Keith Mayers. Final pair of 650 cars in the water box before we roll into the 460 Index motorcycles. Man, what a race. It goes to Chris Bruno. 49.5 beats a 49.4. The 2 best drivers in the category find themselves. They left within 1,000. They finished within 1,000. Margin of victory, 15/10,000ths of a second to Chris Bruno.
And how do you end that chapter? Someone's got to win.
Yikes.
No, I'm just saying it was so good.
Keith Mayers, day over at 11:12 a.m. And he's one of the most decorated guys on the property. It is tough stuff out here.
Unreal. So that'll bring up Wade Gullett. Gullett over there in the traditional green Chevrolet 69 model year in a Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 434 cubic inch power plant. And in the right side, Scott Travers out of Palmetto, Florida. The All-Pro Tire sponsored 71 Vega.
Really neat 71 Vega. It's going to pop the front end up off the starting line. Travers was 001 in qualifying, placing him number 2 on the qualifying list. So this is a leaving son of a gun over here on the right side. Gullett was no slouch at 12. Nice wheel stand for Travers. Travers has an advantage out of the hole, and it will be Travers. 52-0 beats a 52-2. That is tight drag racing down at the finish line stripe. The John Deere rolls on out of here. John Deere rolls on out of here. They're going to drag the racetrack, touch it up for 460 motorcycles. If you've not seen these bikes before, they put on an absolutely awesome show. They're big horsepower. We got turbo bikes here. We got nitrous bikes here, and they are a handful.
Cool deal, though.
Yes, they are.
And we got guys of all sizes, too. There's a guy here that's a pretty big dude that was riding here at the last race. He was my favorite, man. He'd get in there, lean on that thing, tell me he didn't get enough traction on that back tire, but hopefully they all do well. You were reported earlier that there's like a special little money deal going on with those guys.
Yeah, they do a last man standing bounty for like $200 a head. So it's last guy, you pay in, the last guy standing gets all the money. So there's some big dough on the line. Big thanks again to the Falter family. If you didn't hear this before, the Candyman Pro Mod is run by the Falter family. They have been in the candy business since the 1800s. This family has been in the candy business.
Started?
So they stepped up. They have given us 5-pound Hershey bars. 2 5-pound Hershey bars.
No, the way he says it.
Yeah.
They have given us 5 pound, and everyone's going, they make 5-pound Hershey bars?
This thing's the size of a stop sign. Man. And one of them will go to the winner of the World Series of Pro Mod main event race. The other will go to the winner of the Outlaw Beer wild card race. But I've never seen one of these things in person.
No, I mean.
But a 5-pound chocolate bar is exactly as big as you think it would be. It's huge. Final pass with our tractor, and then 460 motorcycles will come around the corner. And Pro Modified, you're on standby. Pro Mod, you're officially on standby. Calls will be coming for the first 4 pairs in moments. Pro Modified, you're on standby.
Steve Logan in the house, man. And thank you to Brian Loans. He's going to get ready for Flo in Pro Mod, first round. Right now, we're going to go into the 460 motorcycle category. Don Lamont coming up here. Lamont over there at Boise, Idaho. Wow, what a trip. And a 26 Ninja sitting down here to the left lane. Herrera's Motorworks, Fish House Upholstery, and Fuel Tech. Who's in the right side, Steve Logan? Welcome in.
Charlie Farah out of Hendersonville, Tennessee there. Oh, big jump. Issues right there for Donald. Oh, he drives it. Man, I tell you what, he took way too much stripe right there. He gets a 67, never look back. I guess he knows what the car runs. That's confidence.
Anyway, Lamont was only 20 feet off the starting line. He's still going through the throttle, man. I would have looked over, took a twist of my head.
That's confidence, man. That thing must go like 65 off a cliff, so he knew he was good.
Mike Lingo, that's a good one. You know, I can run this thing straight through. That's what you'll give me. Mike Lingo coming up out of Cottonwood, Alabama. He's got the 25 Suzuki over here in the left lane. Who do you have in the right
Mike
side?
Wagner out of St. Charles, Missouri, in the Suzuki right-hand side, 1,441 cc's. He qualified number 16, the 64 with a 7. Your 11 qualifier, left-hand lane.
Gotta love it, man. 16-11 in qualifying. Here we go. Who's going to edge in? Looks like the right side. Wagner's going to make that move ever so gently to the starting line. Toes are tipped and knees are bent. Ready to go up the line. There they go. Wow, what a hole shot, huh?
Look, another one. Slight advantage right lane, and then Lingo heard it,
man.
saw it, lets out, goes to 475, and goes to the next round.
Hate to see that for Wagner. Man, he runs down there 676, but he was just coasting. Something went awry on that bike. So Wagner will end his day in the 460 competition. Chad Otis will be up next. Or it's Otts, I believe. So you say that, young lady?
Otts.
Yes, thank you.
So Chad Otts, Olive Branch, Mississippi. It's the same branch Popeye used.
Right side, Jack Foster out of Indiana, Kawasaki, qualified 18th with a 468 with a 2. Left side, Chad Otts qualified number 9. He went a 61 with a 6. So on paper, they're pretty daggone close. So you notice the riders look back, and I talked about this last night if you weren't here. They look back because they sit so far forward on the bike, almost, you know, head over top of the front wheel. It's hard to tell where you aim sometimes if you got that back end behind you, which makes up 75% of the bike. And so whether you're pointing in a straight line, they look back, crew member tells them if they're lined up straight or not, and they make the adjustments before they put it in the beam.
Is that like a custom molded piece there, or is that,
yeah.
Can you buy those, or you got to have them made?
005 for Ott's left-hand side. He came to get down. Again, then goes a 63 for the win.
Came to get down.
Yeah,
Came
he
to get
did.
down. Let's go jump around, man. How about it?
Jump around.
There we go. 463.3 right there at number 9. Motorcycle and qualifying moves on. That'll bring you the red, white, and blue Bayou machine coming up here of Joe Gagnina out of Cape Coral, Florida.
Pretty colorful right there. Qualified 15th. Left-hand side with a 64 with a 5.
Nice look there. He's got that red, white, and blue. He's racing the flag right here.
Bob Foster, right side out of Indiana. Number 12 qualifier, 62 with a 1. They're both inching him forward there. Here we go, pre-stage. Now they're going to bump him in.
All right, the fans are in for a treat here. Pro Mod's around the corner. We're getting ready to call them up here. Get ready, Pro Mod. Here we go.
Slight advantage right lane. He's out in front. That gets the win light right there. They both go to 7-0. But a reaction time favors Foster. Foster turns on the win light.
They were glued together, man.
Glued together.
470 with a 7, 470 with a 4.
How about they got to run each other in a draw? No. Mantez Thompson left side. Mantez Thompson Jr. right side. Yeah, father and son right there.
How about that, man? They found each other in the draw right there to run each other in the number 8 and number 19 qualifiers. So the left lane looks like he qualified better with a 61, and just 8 hundredths off of the number would be Junior.
They towed them both up. They towed them all the way from Alabama and took them out of the trailer. Got to run each other first round.
Gotta like it. They're on the chip down there. One of them is. Oh, and a
red
red
light for Junior. Red light for Junior. Fouls it away. Automatic win and a good run right there for Thompson. He goes 461 at 149 and advances to round number 2.
Isn't love a good thing? Check it out. Alan, how's it going? Good morning, young man. And your friend, good morning. All right, so Rashad Rowe. There it is, Frankfort, Kentucky. I apologize, out of the Kawasaki. Rashad, you go. This big man right here on this bike. Joe Rodney out of Clarksville, Tennessee will be in the left lane, or the right lane. Here we go. Oh, look at that thing vibrate the tire on the back end and the right side. Enough, though, to get down there and take a win at 462 at 149 miles per hour. 473 at 138 miles per hour in the left side. Brings up the Procopios. How about it? At least one of them is. That's Ronald Procopio right here in the tower side out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. The number 4 qualified machine, 1,425 cc's. Purge into nitrous oxide. And down there is Heather Baldy, St. Petersburg, Missouri. St. Peters, I should say, not Berg.
Is this the main event?
There we go. Look at Heather, man, hanging off that thing, trying to get a win at 464. But a 460 takes the victory in the left lane. All right, big thank you to Law for taking care of the Law up here. And Gavin, who I simply love, our race director this weekend and every weekend that we're here at the Winter Series, who I salute because he's joining the service, and you gotta love this kid, man. Anyway, so the wind light went down there. I apologize for missing those guys. Here's Curtis Griggs coming up. Monroe, North Carolina. Will be on that 18 model Suzuki, changing the gears, trying to get that thing into neutral so he can get it in first gear. Roy Barrera. Roy Barrera, Sr. So Griggs trying to hang on. The man in the tinfoil red in the right lane could get around him. Not going to happen, man. 5:07, 5:14. Roy was trying his heart out, man. Retired U.S. Army Sergeant Major. Thank you for your service, Roy. That'll bring up the next two bikes coming to the line. Here's Scott Samish out of Seneca, South Carolina. The 80 Kawasaki will be 1,500 cc's. Look at him purging that nitrous down there low, making sure the bottle pressures are adequate so he doesn't put the cylinder head into his fuel tank. Anyway, gotta like that. And John, thank you, Law. That's Crocolishi coming up. John Crocolishi out of Clearwater, Florida will be in the right lane. 460 index. Now Crocolishi going to chase a bit down there. Down there, the wind light's going to be at a 470 flat. 131 miles per hour for Scott and company. The number 5 qualified 80 Kawasaki moves on for the next round. Hello to the Jones family this morning. Rick and Ricky, good to see you guys, man. It's been a while. Are you retired now, sir, or are you just having fun? A little bit? Good for you. I mean that. All the great years, you built one of the most prettiest race cars ever. And I'm proud of you guys. Just to see out here means a lot to the people, your fans, and all they've done. Good guys, man. Here we go. Another Procopio going to get ready to come up here shortly as Law gets the numbers in, and it will probably be in the right lane. I can tell by the leathers. I remember following that in the old ADRL days. Hey, look at this guy. I swear I've seen this guy on Facebook right here in the left lane. So here we go, Roy Barrera Jr. Uh-oh, problems right there. Man from Glad, man from Glad. That guy's going to be wrapped up potatoes at a barbecue soon. Anyway, down to the right side, Harvey Hubbard goes down out of Sedley, Virginia with a win. 473, 124 miles per hour. To Harvey Hubbard for bringing us up some of those Hub peanuts, man. They were good. I told these guys and gals up here, you crack those open, you're cracking open a smile. Here comes another single right here, the left lane, getting stopped by his man. It's Jeff Jones coming up out of Eagleville, Tennessee. That's right on the top of the mountain, isn't it, Eagleville? Mount Eagle. No, I'm sorry. Eagleville's at the bottom where the eagle fell out of the nest. Anyway, so that 19 model Suzuki will be over here at 1,000. Jeff Jones down there with his run. Went a little quick, but it's all right. It was a single pass. Here's Rashad Jones coming up. Car Ridge, Mississippi, and the 89 Suzuki will be coming to the starting line. Steve Petty down there checking the line out. Proline Racing tuner extraordinaire. One of the best in the business to ever do it. We'll rock and we'll roll right here. Here comes the bike. The Jones family. Look at that. Right on target, man. I had to learn that, man. Rashad Jones, here we go. Nice, look at this guy ride this thing straight down the center of the track. Gets down through there at a 458 flat at 150 miles per hour. You want to talk about a good ride. That kid can ride a bike. Man, he's just got everything smooth in the groove right there. So.
For centuries, competition has defined us. But what is competition? It's a spark, a storm that moves through us. It's the fire within that urges us onward, to reach higher, strike stronger. History remembers those who dared, and the present is shaped by their legacy. It pushes beyond limits, beyond the field. Respect emerges, and each challenger drives the other. There is no backing down.
Birds flying high.
And so it begins. It is the final race of the Drag Illustrated Winter Series. It is the 2025 Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod. Brian Loans up here in the booth.
What I want to talk about here is we have over 80 entries.
It's the largest assemblage of cars ever in one place, and we have all-stars and champions from effectively every racing series that runs these cars.
These big characters, these incredible personalities.
When you talk about these races that people have grown up wanting to win, that says all you need to know about what this is. Drag racing is as psychological a game as it is mechanical.
And the pressure's on, and we've got $150,000 on the line.
And I'm feeling good.
This is brutal. Oh, Palmer's got a problem. Yeah. The throttle is hung open. Bertuccio goes to the #1 spot. And a bit of a testament to getting your chutes out on time. Oof.
Fish in the sea.
And as usual, the chip draw has delivered some very compelling first-round matchups.
There's $150,000, whether or not you are the champion, up for grabs at this deal.
2 in a row on the right side. A red light start for Barnett. Erica was out first. Billy Banica was a day late, and he is $1 short. Side by side of the stripe, and it's going to be Stevie Fast Jackson. The lane swap backfired. Jason Harris stops Ken Curtuccio.
So we started with 83. We have 4 left.
Steve King was elbows deep. He was given more time to fix the car. King's 40 green. He's going to run away from him. It is going to be Stevie Fast Jackson. The final pair of the final day of the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod is about to launch now. They lead clean. Jackson was 29. Finish line stripe. It is Steve King. Unbelievable. He was the man of destiny.
History played itself out again.
But now, forevermore, no matter what anybody gets to say, the World Series of Pro Mod champion, Steve King. So many emotions as I watched that along with you. Welcome to the FloRacing broadcast of Race Day here from Bradenton Motorsports Park. This is the World Series of Pro Mod presented by Redline. I think we talk about this all the time, and it seems manufactured, and it seems like we're fluffing the things we need to fluff, but I've got Wes Buck up here in the tower with me. That video, watching that as it came through, I have never been more pumped, and I think that it says a lot about the emotion, what's happening here at the World Series of Pro Mod, but now that we know how the chips fell, the guy that we just watched be the actual king, not even in the show.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's such a cutthroat ordeal, and it's heartbreaking, right? To see your reigning defending champion fail to qualify for the biggest, richest Pro Mod drag race in the history of the known universe. But it also speaks to the level of competition here. There are no easy rounds. There are no gimmies. There are no lame ducks on that ladder. Every round of this race will have to be earned against the best in the world.
And we're going to see who the best in the world is today. Let's take a look at our matchups. We had an incredible chip draw last night, and as always, there are some matchups that rise to the top. Ryan Hayward versus Martin. That's going to be a great one. That got everybody hooting and hollering last night, I didn't think. As we go down this list, I want to remind you people, Kai Kelly ended up number 33 on the list, but as the accident we saw last night with Brylan, obviously not able to make the field, so we saw a lot of things on social media of why Kai Kelly is in. The alternate situation got him in. Spencer Hyde, very consistent in qualifying. He is one of the only 2 in this field that can become the first 2-time winner of this. He has his fellow Canadian Kenny Lang, Victor Alvarez, McNeil, Decker Jr., Robin Roberts, Callie Mills, Banica, Weatherford, and Bowman. That's the other one to look at. Bowman can also be the first second-time winner, which we're going to chat about here in a second. Aaron Stanfield making a hero run, going from the outhouse to inside the top 10. Travis Harvey, 2 drivers right there at the bottom of the field. At the bottom of the screen, you see Eric Gustafson, Travis Harvey. That's one of the ones that I thought was a monster matchup. Derek Menhold, Ethan Stedding. You want to go up the list and talk about your favorites
Johnny
there.
Camp and Tommy DeApril, Ned Dunphy, Jason Lee. I mean, what I'm really seeing here, Ryan Martin and Sean Ellington, we were all sitting back going, please don't draw each other. Please don't draw each other.
They did.
And sure enough, 2 of our stars of Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings, draw one another for first round. But that's what happens at the World Series of Pro Mod. But what I see here really is guys from every walk and gals from every walk of the drag racing life. We have PDRA superstars, Ned Dunphy, Drag and Drive superstar, Pete Norton, a former truck and tractor puller. I mentioned Sean and Ryan Martin. Stevie Jackson, a world beater in NHRA Pro Mod. I mean, this is Jason Harris, a superstar in the PDRA world. That's what I love about this event, is bringing all these racers together whose paths rarely cross and making sure that they do here and getting to see the magic unfold.
You just said Jason Harris, and that leads us perfectly into the next order of business that we have going on. Yeah, we're crowning a World Series of Pro Mod champ. We're handing out $150K, but we also have a series champion to talk about. So let's take a look at some of these points. This is going to be changing all day. And alert, 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 it's 1.5 points. Jason Harris is only leading by 22 points. That means that things could happen really quickly. Things could change. Eric Gustafson, Number 1 qualifier, incredible. Sydney Frigo, Randy Weatherford, you get down in here, we're still only 240 out in the number 6 spot. Obviously, John Dock in the number 10 spot, not eligible, but so much could happen.
I mean, if any of these people that you just mentioned make it past the first round, we're going to find ourselves in a classic who goes further on race day situation for the championship. I mean, obviously the odds-on bet right now, Jason Harris, they've ran so well, misqualifying number 1 2 races in a row by a total of 0.004 of a second. Clearly has a car that can go the distance, but Stevie Jackson and Eric Gustafson specifically are a good Saturday away from world champion status.
Absolutely, and there's 2 KTR cars right there that are eligible for it. We are going to talk with one of the people who is eligible for that second World Series of Pro Mod champion. But before we do, Wes, I'm going to get your final thoughts. I know you're going to go out there and handle the opening ceremonies, but this is it. You and I talked off camera. All roads lead.
All roads lead to Bradenton, baby. And I tell you what, drag racing happens in the winter. If we've made anything known to the world, to the masses, the greatest drag racing that happens on the planet Earth happens every winter at Bradenton Motorsports Park. I'm so proud of these guys. I'm so proud of these tuners, these teams, these crewmen and women that make this stuff happen, travel from all points of the globe to be here, work their tails off all week. Couldn't be more proud of them. I was asked to describe this group last night for the chip draw, and a lot of words come to mind, right? I've heard it all this week. Badasses, right? Quickest, fastest, all these things. But what they really represent are the best in the world, Courtney.
The best in the world, and you have put on one of the best races in the world. I mean that with my whole soul. I thank you so much. We're going to let you get out of here in a second as we hear from one of those that knows how this feels. This is a unique situation to have the champagne and the money thrown all over you. Kayla Morton has one of those guys, Mike Bowman.
I'm here in the pits with Mike Bowman, a very seasoned drag racer that has done all kinds of racing. But let me tell you a couple of fun facts about Mike here at the World Series of Pro Mod. He is one of 2 winners that has won World Series of Pro Mod before, and he's the only twin turbo car in that top 32.
Yeah, we made it in 19th. I mean, we're really fortunate. The car is running good. We've been going down the racetrack every time. We got to do that again today. And obviously we have Randy Weatherford. And he's fast. Everybody in the field's extremely fast, so gonna have to cut a good light to win the race and just be consistent. And I think that's gonna play a lot into today. One more race is being consistent. I've been the fastest car, so we gotta make it happen today.
And what would it mean to you to be the first winner of 2 of the World Series of Pro Mod events?
I tell you, it'd be amazing. I mean, we came close last year. We were in the semis and got beat by Stevie Fast Jackson, but it would be amazing, you know. And you don't really, you know, if we can get through the day of the heat, then we got a fast race car. We've been 57 with it, so that's close enough. Good light, just got to make it happen. It would be even more insane than it was to win it the first time.
Absolutely. And if you don't know, Mike is a true family man. He has a set of twins, Kayla and Cassidy. They do a lot of racing themselves, and you put them in a special school so they can be out here racing with you every time. And I just want you to know I really appreciate that. You bringing your kids, and it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's awesome to have them here and have them be involved in the racing, and they're racing themselves. And you never know, you might see one of them in this Pro Mod one of these days.
Thank you, Mike, and good luck in round 1 against Randy Weatherford.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kayla. That was awesome. So I'm going to give you a couple of my final thoughts. I haven't proved this with the truck yet before I toss it upstairs. I love sports so much for so many reasons, and one of those reasons is the moment that we are living in right now. All of the possibilities that could happen today are unknown. Anybody could get this done today. We could see a new champion. We could see a repeat champion. We could see a double champion as we crown that. I want to remind you, as soon as the Pro Mod main series is over, we are rolling right into that Outlaw Beer second chance race, the wild card shootout. So you're going to have 10 rounds of Pro Mod racing today. But this is a moment in sports that is unknown. History will be made momentarily, and I am so excited to have you along with us. Brian Loans and Mike Carpenter are going to walk you through it all day.
And here we are. It's finally showing its face. We're 2 hours later than we initially planned on going for this first round of eliminations due to the overnight rain and getting this track basically scraped down and repaired to this point. So this is going to be a challenge that I don't think these guys, well, I think they thought they were going to escape this for this first round and have to deal with it in the second round. But here it is. This is probably going to be the toughest round of eliminations. Not only is it the first round, nerves are high. Now you've got to deal with a track surface and temperatures that you haven't faced all weekend. Yeah, we've got so many scenarios here that are playing out for us as far as point scenarios, not only just for the World Series of Pro Mod win, but for the championship points. 1.5 points today. And the way the chip draw played out, the way the qualifying played out, we've got a few scenarios that are still in play. However, the most likely are the same ones that we came in with. Jason Harris, Stevie Jackson, Eric Gustafson, Sidney Frigo, kind of rounding out this powerhouse top four that have the best chance at this championship, followed by Randy Weatherford, Derek Minholt, a guy that's just been absolutely stellar here for 2 events in a row. A lot of guys to keep your eyes on. We're going to be updating these points live as the rounds happen, and you're really going to see some movement with that 1.5 points scenario.
Fans still pulling in the pit area and the parking area, and the teams are pulling into the staging lanes as we talk about the points implications. 22 points back, like a great white shark circling its prey. Stevie Fast Jackson is chasing Jason Harris.
An interesting scenario last night, too, where Stevie, Sidney Frigo, all the KTR cars did not make that final session. They intentionally set that out, possibly saving parts. This has been a war of attrition out here this weekend. We're finally to the point of the end of a grueling 3 months of racing, testing, just really running the wheels off these cars for these guys. And we're starting to see some business decisions being made to try to survive 5 rounds of eliminations here today.
And so we get a look at our first round matchups here, and they are titanic in every way, shape, and form. It is a chip draw. These are random matchups. You grab blindly into a bag and pull out a number, and these are the matchups that we saw. The matchup between Kelly Mills, Billy Banica, huge. Aaron Stanfield, Sidney Frigo. Stanfield in the best car he's had all winter series.
Yeah, he's going to be one to watch. How about Randy Weatherford and Mike Bowman? We just heard from Mike Bowman. He wants to try to repeat as a World Series of Pro Mod champion, but he's got to get through one of the toughest guys on the property to do that. Who's going to be able to navigate these tricky conditions out here the best? Is it going to be a twin turbo car like Mike Bowman? Is it going to be a centrifugal supercharger like Randy Weatherford's car, or the venerable screw blower combination that has dominated this event for basically every year that we've had it at Bradenton Motorsports Park?
And of course, the former Street Outlaws stars had the uncanny ability to grab themselves out of the blind pull, and we saw it happen again last night.
They did. And I mean, this is no conspiracy, no setup. I really couldn't tell you how this keeps happening other than just fate. Ryan Martin, Sean Ellington lining up first round. How about this matchup? Gustafson, Harvey. That's a big one. But then one that I don't think we've really focused on enough, Jason Harris and Greg Blevins Jr. Blevins had his best run of the weekend last night with a completely fresh engine that was shipped up here down here from North Carolina. That's going to be tough for Harris. Harris has got, you can't look past Blevins. He's looking later rounds, championship, winning the World Series of Pro Mod as really one of the favorite cars that we've seen here throughout this series, but he's got to get past a really tough competitor for the first round.
And Raymond Matos has Stevie Fast Jackson in the first round. Matos has been, I say with respect, surprising in that he rolled out a brand new car here, and we see a lot of people who have attempted the brand new car move not making this field. And so Raymond Matos has done the job. He is going to give Stevie Fast Jackson just about everything he can handle. I'm sure of that. Yeah, beautiful looking crowd out here today. It's a beautiful afternoon, morning, heading toward afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. We are piling them in here right now. When your cell phone stops working, that's when you know we're starting to pack a crowd in here, and we've definitely reached that point. 76 degrees, 9-mile-per-hour winds, clear sky. The clouds and kind of overcast conditions we've had over the last few days have blown out with that storm that we had roll in overnight. And every one of these crew chiefs back here is sweating bullets, I can guarantee you, because what they've been racing on and really testing on all week is gone, and we've got a much trickier surface to try to navigate for this first round of eliminations.
Beautiful crowd, and of course the crowd of cars in the staging lanes. Pre-race ceremonies about to kick off down in the starting line area as our racers are making their absolute and last final preparations in the staging lanes. You can see Peter Norton there in the black and green car, a factor that has really grown over the course of 3 races. Norton came in with good equipment and a decent reputation, and he is going to lead this Winter Series no matter how today goes with a whole new level of respect from his competitors.
And a Rookie of the Year award,
yes,
which was voted on by our staff last night as part of our special awards that we presented during our chip draw. A guy that's, like you said, great equipment, great team. Rick Jones calling the shots on that car. But it's been super impressive, and just another one of these guys that's going to be so tough to get through. We watched that intro that was produced by Jess Malante, ET Edits, that we played here at the intro for this FloRacing broadcast, and there's just so many names and faces that didn't survive to even eliminations today, maybe even didn't survive to this event. It has been grueling. These guys are running these things so hard to get to this point. 3 races in, 15 rounds of eliminations at the end of today. It is so tough. Like Wes said, the best racing, the best pro-modified drag racing on the planet happens during the winter here at BMP. And this is going to be a survival of the fittest here today. We're going to probably see some upsets, some things we didn't expect here, especially in this first round. And then who can navigate their way all the way to a $150,000 win. However, we do have a second field of cars.
Yes, we do.
An entire second race provided by Outlaw Light Beer, $25,000 on the line for our guys that didn't make the cut. We're guys and gals because the leader, the #1 qualifier, that was just missed this field, Erica Enders, is going to be headlining our wild card shootout coming up right after this main event. So definitely want to follow that as well. We're going to have our hands full here. Gavin Carter, race director, man, he's going to be working overtime to keep up with this as we put on display some of the best pro-modified drag racing on the planet.
Joey Martin and Ryan Hayward, they will be the first pair. You can see their cars sitting behind the starting line. It is both an enviable position to be in, but also a torturous position to be in, because if you're back in the staging lanes, you're just kind of going through your process, trying to stay calm. These guys are strapped in. They're amped up. We have a great pre-race ceremony about to kick off, which they will experience from inside their cars, staring down the racetrack, begging to reach for the starter button and just get this show on the road.
That is a nerve-wracking position. You don't really want to be there. Like you said, a lot of guys, depending how quickly you can get in and get suited up, will wait till the last second to jump in there to avoid getting too hot. And with that sun beating down these thick 20-layer fire suits these guys are in, it's a little bit of a battle to maintain your calm, cool, collected demeanor. But as these guys will tell you, as soon as they hit that last verse of the national anthem and they tell you to fire them up, that all goes away and the focus turns on to the task at hand.
And now let's go to the starting line. Wes Buck.
All right, guys. Good morning. Bradenton Motorsports Park, thank you guys so much for being out here. It's about noon, and if you've been around this sport long enough, you know exactly what that means. You can feel the tension and the excitement in the air. You know what's about to happen. Before we go any further, I do want to take a second and thank all of you guys, because without you, we have nothing. I got to tell you, I come out here with a T-shirt and blue jeans on for a reason, right? They all want me to wear the fancy shirt. They want me to dress nice, right? But I'm just like you guys, right? I'm going to the drag races. So I'm going to wear jeans, tennis shoes, and a T-shirt just like I have for 42 years that I've been on this planet. I relate more to y'all than anybody here because that's what I am. I'm a fan of drag racing. I love this sport, I love this people, and I've wanted to see them have more. And we've worked tirelessly. My entire team at Drag Illustrated, the team here at Bradenton Motorsports Park, the Freedom Factory, everybody that's involved with this, we work tirelessly to elevate the sport of drag racing. That's what means the most to me. I gotta say to all of our teams, every crew member, I know what it's like to work all week, put the awning up, and then find your car on Projects come race day. This is a brutal endeavor we're involved in, but it takes all of us to make this world go round. What I'm really, really proud of is the fact that we have stars and cars from all walks of the racing life. The NHRA is represented. The IHRA is represented. Midwest Drag Racing Series is represented. PDRA is represented. No Prep Kings and Street Outlaws is represented. Hot Rod Drag Week is represented. They're all here coming together in the ultimate all-star race, and there are no ducks. No one is coming up here knowing that they've got this round handled. They got this one in the bag. They're here to fight tooth and nail to put on a show for you and to etch their name in the history books as the winner of the World Series of Pro Mod. So, as we wind this thing up, I'm going to turn it over. Real quick, hold on. We got something special for all you guys, right? This is what we came to do. Here's what we're running for, right? So, we got some bread that we're going to hand out later this evening. I want to remind you guys, please join us at the Winner's Circle. These guys and gals deserve to be celebrated. They deserve to see their name in lights. They deserve to sign autographs. They deserve to feel like the rock stars that I believe they are, that I know they are. So be a part of this. Make some noise for them throughout this week. Let's get on our feet. Let's give them the energy they deserve. The reason this place is packed, the way I get the best performance out of them is them feeling your energy. I've had these drivers tell me they can hear you in the cars. I don't know if you've noticed, but these sons of guns are loud. But y'all are louder, and I need you to be loud every time we roll these Pro Mods to the water box, right? So, again, thank you all to all of our sponsors, our track partners, everybody involved. You mean the world to me. I'm going to turn it over real quick to my dear friend, hold on, I'm going to get this right, Kate Holloway. Where's Kate at? I don't know if you guys know this, but our country may well be at war. And what are we doing? We're here drag racing. Because there's a whole world of men and women that are fighting for our freedom around this country and around this globe. And I just thought we would change. Yeah, let's give it up for the men and women of service. Way more important than me. Way more important than us. I thought we would change our typical drag race, our opening ceremony proceedings. And I'd like to ask you to sing God Bless America. All right? Come on up, sweetheart.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light up above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Let's go. Good fun. Great job. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason, we're going to have to keep it short. I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend, Tin Soldier Race Cars own, Bound for Glory's own, Jason Terrell for our invocation.
Thank you. Quick, if everybody could stand up, I realized something yesterday. Blower cars and turbo cars, they don't have a soul. But a nitrous car has a soul. Can I get an amen? A nitrous car has a soul. And these cars, every time we start them, they have a purpose. They get pushed all the way up here. They don't get started until it's time to go to war. And when that nitrous car specifically starts, you can hear each individual cylinder pulling its weight. Pa, 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 pa. It's a religious experience. There's nothing better than a nitrous car. And I want to challenge you with something. When we put breath into these race cars, that is their purpose. And when the Lord God made you, he gave his breath away to Adam. He made a mud man, and when he was happy with what he made, he breathed his breath into him. And it is his breath that he gave us for purpose. So what are you doing with the divine breath that's in your lungs? What are you doing? Are you a nitrous car? Or are you one of them sissy turbo cars? I'm just asking. So today, let's be nitrous cars. Let's walk around with purpose in our breath and a sound of each cylinder as it comes out. I love you. Let's pray. Jesus, thank you so much for who you created us to be. God, thank you for this place. I just pray that you just bless our troops, man. They are at war. Thank you for them. Thank you for the men and women that are represented there. And today, I'm just thankful for you and the ability to get to do this. God, send your angels, send your Holy Spirit, and just everybody that's dealing with stuff, I pray that it falls off of them. I pray that joy rains down from heaven. I pray that people can know exactly who they are and the purpose that they were created for. We love you. In Jesus' name, amen. If you could please remain standing. If you didn't take your hat off, take it off now. And we have Jesse and Sedona that are going to sing the greatest song out of all of it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank y'all, man.
Good job.
And that will kick us off. What a beautiful way to start this race day at the Redline Oil World Series of Pro Mod. And here comes Cletus McFarland with a flyover in Consuelo the helicopter. What else you got up your sleeve? What else you got up your sleeve, Carpenter?
We're full of surprises today. Cleet just boomed the tower.
That was awesome.
He's going to circle it back around as we kick this thing off here at BMP, man. What a way to start.
Ryan Hayward and Joey Martin have been waiting in anxious anticipation ahead of the water box. Martin fired the car up, has heated the tires, and here comes Ryan Hayward, the man from the Pacific Northwest. A guy who forged a very strong winter series for himself 1 year ago and is looking to make some more of that magic here on Saturday.
He's got a tough competitor right off the start here, Joey Martin, a guy that has really built this car just for this series and this event, struggled at the first two races of the year, finds himself into the 50s, into the show, and in a position that he dreamed of and maybe thought wasn't going to become a reality, but here it is, the final race of the Winter Series, first pair out against Ryan Hayward, one of the toughest on race day.
If you have been living under a rock and that rock does not have internet access, we're going to remind you that this is a chip draw style format all through the day. Not just for the first round, but for all of them. Sometimes the chip draw works in the favor of one racer when he is able to grab a competitor that was maybe a tenth slower. In this case, these two cars ran within 2,000ths on their best run, and throughout qualifying had pretty even performances. So this is literally a pick-em here to start the first round.
Yep, 359.9 versus a 360 with a 1. Doesn't get much tighter than that. as we kick this thing off, man. This is what it's all about.
Yes,
This is the moment. Really, this is the most intense moment of this entire series, and we're here today after kicking this thing off in early December of last year. Huge crowd here on hand, and we're getting ready to put them in the beams.
They're packed in at Bradenton, and they continue to pull into the lot as both cars move forward. The first winner and the first loser at the World Series of Pro Mod will be decided in 3.5 seconds. Martin's car shakes the tire.
Oh, no.
Hayward is sideways. He saves it. Oh, he got into the wall lightly of what it could have been. An incredibly crazy way to start the day.
Well, it couldn't have gotten much crazier than that. Hayward, actually, Martin off the line first, 041, then 936. Hayward went right into tire shake, which is not what we expected from that car prepared by Ricky Jones. Look at that brutal tire shake just past the shake zone we saw yesterday. Then it just starts this wobble, this uncontrollable back and forth that it looks like, you should be able to reel that thing in and get this stop. But when it starts that momentum, it's got all that momentum, and you're applying the brakes, but the tires aren't on the ground. So, I mean, this thing is not stopping the way that you would typically think that you could. But maybe he sees Joey Martin having trouble out of his side window and gives it a second thought.
I really think that was part of it. I think there was that nanosecond of, well, this is over with, and he looked over and sees Martin within a car length of him and tries to give it a little gusto, and then it gets into this porpoising effect. Meanwhile, Martin is just kind of coasting his way down the right side innocently over there. That is what's going to define this first round. Not this particular run, but the complete divergence of conditions. These racers have not seen this, even in testing, Mike. The testing sessions that have been going on for days down here have been on the cold side.
They were.
Not on the warm side.
They were colder than we've had all weekend, and now we're warmed up to the point where this is back kind of what we expect for World Series of Pro Mod race day. These racers, they hate this. They hate these conditions. These tuners hate it even more. You got this fresh track, freshly scraped overnight rain. We've got more humidity in the air. We're going to pull up the density altitude here and get an idea of the water grains and density altitude that we're dealing with here today. But we're going to check this track, and hopefully everything's clear and get right back to racing after a short break.
A little paint, a new set of headers for Ryan. We'll get him fixed up for the next race. But when we come back, the track will be ready, and the next pair will be on the starting line. And we are back. Burnouts commencing with Kai Kelly and Adriano Caillan out of Brazil by way of Thompson, Georgia. Kai Kelly is in this race, and it should be mentioned Ryan Hayward's okay. We just checked the racetrack. There was nothing out there to fix up, so we're right back at it again. Kai Kelly is in as an alternate.
Yep, and he's going to see if he can take advantage of that position and have a little cleaner run than we just saw for that first round. tuned by Jeff Pierce. This is a guy that we saw go obviously all the way to the win at the Snowbird Outlaw Nationals, but he was a force throughout last year's Winter Series, found himself towards the bottom of the top 10 in points coming into this event. Can he kind of sort of sneak his way into a couple rounds and shake these point scenarios up as we talk about points and a half for each round win here today? And after each round of racing, we're going to check in on that point standings and see who's in, who's out, who's still got a chance.
Knowing more about Kelly's career than Caillane's experience in Brazil, I would say in a day where driver ability may be placed more front and center than it has been all race long, Kelly may have an advantage here.
Yeah, a guy that's used to racing on the street, racing no prep at the No Prep Kings Series, and one of the best pure drivers that we have out here. I would have to agree with you on that. But Caillan, no slouch as he breaks into this incredible field at his first time out.
It is a KTR motor, as you said. It's a KTR team machine. We'll find out that first Killing Time Racing entry on the right-hand side, what it can do. Bellwether for the rest of the effort. Kelly had to breathe on the throttle, and he did at 380 at 203 miles an hour. That was a study in experience.
It was. Right past that shake zone, had to pedal it. We saw the blades blipping open and closed for Kai. It held together. That was my concern. As he went into the shake and then started pedaling it. We've seen Kai with some engine issues throughout the weekend. Looks like it held together all the way to the 660.
Both of the cars, and man, just a real quick kind of slap of the throttle did the job.
Yep.
And so Kelly calling on all that experience of the varied surfaces, some of which were very treacherous. This one's just got a lot of grip. He's been on places that are ice skating rinks. Now it is going to be Spencer Hyde and Kenny Lang. The north of the border war here, the two Canadians. Of course, Hyde from Stratford, Ontario, Canada, the eastern half of the country, and Kenny Lang from Grand Point, Manitoba, way out west.
Yeah, these guys, we always say they like to find each other, right? We have street outlaws lined up against each other. We got the Canadians lined up here. Kenny Lang sort of making his reappearance into eliminations at the World Series of Pro Mod after struggling throughout much of this Winter Series. Spencer Hyde really didn't miss a beat once he jumped back into this car that carried Ken Cortuccio all the way to the championship last year and to a win at the U.S. Street Nationals. Always well prepared. Scott Tidwell machine tuned by the one and only Steve Petty, Chris Terry, kind of a whole conglomerate down there for Spencer Hyde.
For folks that haven't been paying attention all weekend long or following all weekend long, something happened yesterday morning that was unique to this event. Because we had an early qualifying session, we took the fastest cars and put them ahead of everybody else, much as they would have been at the back if the conditions had been better. Resulted in incredible performance. A lot of the fastest runs came out of it. I mention that because in this scenario, Kenny Lang's car is about a half a tenth slower than Spencer Hyde's. I may favor Kenny Lang here because if the thing's less aggressive, it may be better to deal with these conditions.
That's a good point. We'll see how it plays out.
Hyde has to pedal, and Kenny Lang's going to round two. 366.2 at 206 miles an hour. Hyde will not be a two-time winner of the World Series of Pro Mod in 2026. 378 in the loss.
You could call that an upset, but based on what you just said, which was a really good point, that played out exactly how you predicted. Just detuned it to a 366 with a 2 at 206.
It appeared clean, too. It didn't appear to be a pedaling run.
That's the experience, too. Al Billis, from the early days of Pro Mod, used to racing on all kinds of different surfaces and navigating. You know, back in the day, not every track surface was perfect all the time. And he knows how to make that adjustment.
And so that 366 is noteworthy because when we start to look at what the quickest runs of this round are, I'm going to say that's going to be very close to the top.
It'll be surprisingly close.
Yeah. Vic Alvarez and Jacob McNeil. McNeil of Gilmer, Texas. The Wright Trailer sponsorship for Vic Alvarez, the Harts Charger, supercharging the engine, M&M transmission, innovative racecraft, the Red Hat Mafia, Bradenton Motorsports Park at Fuel Tech on his program. J&A service for Jacob McNeil. McNeil made the show on his last attempt.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do with Vic Alvarez. Lane choice is another thing to look at here in this first round. Usually the left lane is favored at this track, but sometimes during the hottest sessions, during the heat of the day, high noon, as we're racing right now, especially early in a session, we can see that right lane really perform better. So something to keep an eye on. Vic Alvarez chose his left lane in this scenario, probably made his best runs out of that lane, and clear, the favorite in this situation. But is this going to be a complete round of upsets? As I would say, our first pass, Joey Martin, and
Hayward.
And Hayward, that was an upset as well.
So we talk about Alvarez's weekend. The only bobble they had was a moment where the car wouldn't start. They were unable to make their third qualifying run, which was yesterday morning. Other than that, the car has been virtually flawless. McNeil's car was not in a big bit of trouble. It just wasn't quick enough until they really wicked it up in the final session to run 3:59.6.
McNeil in this car, the J&A service camp, normally driven by Brandon Snyder. Brandon's actually back there on the headset calling the shots for this team now as McNeil jumps behind the wheel.
Alvarez tends to be a man with a plan. He's a very cagey, very experienced racer. He has done this in a multitude of different formats in drag racing, and he is not the type of guy that goes up there with a randomizer in his brain. He knows what he's going to do before he gets there in terms of the starting line, so we can all try to get a look here and see what this strategy is going to be.
Made his debut here a year ago. Can he go further than he did last year? After qualifying #1 at one point, both at that event and this year's World Series of Pro Mod, as he was our off-the-trailer Pro Line Racing off-the-trailer bonus winner in the first round.
It appears his strategy was staging second and taking his time to do it. The clock ticking, Alvarez goes in. Shakes the tires early. It is going to be McNeil, maybe. Couldn't catch him. McNeil does it. 394 at 190 miles an hour. Alvarez's car began to wad the tires up the second he hit the gas pedal.
Yeah, you saw a couple things there. McNeil on the starting line advantage, 039 to an 066 light for Vic. But McNeil, they both shook, but McNeil shook later, and he's got more momentum that he's carrying at that point.
Oh, yeah.
When he goes into the shake. And that alone can make the difference in those pedal fast situations.
Alvarez was charging like a raging animal at the end of this run, going 200 miles an hour, a 20-mile-an-hour speed differential, but he simply ran out of racetrack. Mike Decker Jr. and Robin Roberts. Decker was cheered on by his son last night at the chip draw when he started screaming, "You finally qualified."
I think that's how this family shows their love to each other. But let's go down to Kayla. She's got Kai Kelly.
Good job. I saw the blades open and close. You slapped the throttle one time in true Kai Kelly fashion going on to round 2.
Yeah, in front of me I seen Ryan Hayward get all loose and tap it off, so I was just ready for the pedal because the track's hot and greasy, and being like this guy race. So.
We stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Ain't that right?
Yeah, it's hard to pedal a blower car too, but when you do it, it comes alive. So it was a fun pass, and fun round 2.
Great job.
Talking about pedaling the blower car, it comes to life when you get on and off the throttle. Robin Roberts and Mike Decker Jr. Roberts, another of the Q5 heroes, so to speak, the small band of them that bumped into the show.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on these lanes as well. Right lane versus left lane. Kai Kelly, the only one to win out of that left lane so far. Had to pedal. Is that going to keep up? And are these guys that have lane choice going to continue to choose that lane, which actually Decker was the better qualified car out of these two and chose that right lane. So we're starting to see, I think you may be seeing some lane swapping going on in the back.
So Roberts now creeping ahead. And it's, oh boy, it's another pedal fest, but it is, to your point, Mike, it was once again a contest of momentum as Decker's issues happened far down the racetrack. Roberts happened immediately.
Yeah, we're seeing that shake zone is a little bit earlier in this left lane. Guys are able to carry it a little bit further before they run into trouble in the right lane. That's made the difference the last 2 runs.
And so we get a look from the drone here overhead, and you can see what's going on there with Decker being able to outpace Roberts, who really, with the car was going almost 10, maybe, what, 20 miles an hour by the time it ran into trouble.
Yeah, and that makes the difference. Well, this is, you know, not how you want this first round to play out, ideally. But you're going to get this at this race. I mean, when you're running 32 and even today, upwards of 64 Pro Mods, at some point during the day, you can't wait till night. You can't start running this thing at 5 o'clock tonight. We've got to get going. We even tried to start earlier than this. You're going to run into this session.
In breaking news, all these racers that compete at races in series throughout the normal season, if you will, after this, will be racing in these conditions at other places at other times. This is how it goes, and it's just the navigational aspect of it. So far, Al Billis is the only guy who had the keys to the castle.
And also the air, you know, you'd expect it to be much worse than what we saw. We did see 107 water grains when we pulled it up, but only 1,800 density altitude. Not really as bad as it probably feels out there right now, but a ton of sun, a ton of heat building in this track, UV, all these things. It's kind of where you're still making big power, but the track can't take it. I think that's some of the issue we're seeing here today.
Well, Billy Banica has been a big power guy. 212 miles an hour is qualifying speed. Callie Mills, 207 miles an hour. Sand Springs, Oklahoma, the 1968 Camaro, the American Pride golf carts machine. Now they begin that final process of staging. And Banica's going to get it done. The big horsepower, 211, 367, 211 miles an hour for Banica.
Kind of laid the groundwork there for how to get it done. Early numbers, 950, 249, way down for what these cars are capable of. Ease it through that first part of the track, get it going, get your wheel speed, get your ground speed going, get past half track, pour it on, 211.33 out the back door. Just can't get aggressive early, especially in that left lane. So far and away the best pass we've seen in that left lane. Yeah, that was short of Kenny's 366 out of the right lane.
And again, it's just proof positive that there is, you know, there's nothing wrong with the surface out here. There was something wrong with Randy Weatherford's crankshaft, though, and that was the minor detail that had broken into 3 pieces.
Looked like a little beer can. You know, in certain parts of it, just the journals knocked out of it. I mean, all kinds of damage to this thing. They brought a new engine. I don't know all the details, but a completely new engine, I believe, was brought in for Randy. I think he was one of the guys that kind of summoned a completely new bullet from somewhere. I guess I would assume from Proline. So they brought this thing down here, got him fixed up. I think he missed a round of qualifying, but one of the tough competitors. And this is one of the matchups that we were highlighting in our pre-race show. You got a former winner of the World Series of Pro Mod that looks great so far, qualified number 19. Looks like he's in position to do some damage with that twin turbo, but then he finds himself drawing Randy Weatherford first round.
You know, the difficult thing for Bowman, we talk about how tough it is to, you know, the raceability of the turbo combinations, and secondarily, when you get into a pedaling contest, a turbo car is the last thing you want to be in because they spool down and need, even if it's just milliseconds, they need time to spool back up again. Whereas a centrifugal car is going to be right back, kind of where it needs to be making.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's another. We don't talk about that a lot. We talk about the different advantages that these combinations have, but even that situation and that thought has led some of these guys to switch from the twin turbo to centrifugal. Hopefully it doesn't come into play for either one of these guys.
So Mike Bowman now right side of the racetrack, all the way in from Oak Hills, California. Weatherford rattles the tires, but he's able to drive through at 372 at 208. That was a case of experienced driver knowing he could get through the tire shake without it getting too bad.
Yeah, Randy had that one from the start, 037 to an 076 light. 934, 252, leading at every incremental. 372 with a 0 gets it done. Coming into this, I bet these guys didn't think that that was going to get you a round win here in E1 of the biggest Pro Mod drag race in the world. But that's why we don't race on paper. I think that that's a saying and something that you have to keep in mind. And winning a drag race, to me, is about navigating adverse conditions.
Yes, it
and
is.
It's something we don't see as much in the modern times as we used to 20, 30, 40 years ago.
So we're now, once again, guaranteed a first-time winner. So there's nobody else left that can double up, right?
Yeah, we'll have to double-check this. Let's go down to Kayla. She's got Jacob McNeil.
Jacob McNeil, you shoved that sucker right down through there between the mayonnaise and the mustard, pedaling, and got yourself a round 1 win. Way to go. Good driving job from your corn-fed boy.
Yeah, that's it, girl. It was pretty wild. Brandon told me, hey, man, if it don't make it down, get that mother down before he does, but don't scratch it. Man, it came up hard. It went about probably 200 foot. Then it unloaded. I just pedaled as fast as I could, and I stuck the brake and drug it. And, man, never saw him over there. Finally, I hit the chutes. I looked over. That was a pro mod run for his ass right there. You know, last night, we're at the banquet deal last night. You know, Victor, he good dude, being funny. Told me he got to take his hospitality out soon and send me home early. I'm glad he can go a Coke and a smile, and I watch his Camaro go to second round.
And that right there is a one-line dropper. Thank you, Jacob. Good to see you.
And so big Jacob McNeil moving on to the next round and
bringing the personality.
Bringing the personality.
I love it, man. That's another face we haven't seen so far. But going to some rounds here at the Winter Series, and excited about it. And we'll watch this run. Let's kind of cue this run up here, and then we're going to touch on something that we've just seen develop here early in this first round of eliminations.
Stanfield and Frigo. Stanfield way out first, but in a pedal it. Stanfield trying to get back to it. He does it. 387 at 200, beats a 404. Breathless.
Wow. I bet Aaron, you know, he's getting some experience in this Pro Mod car. That's probably his first pedaling experience,
yes,
but that you don't do that a lot in a Pro Stock
No.
car either. But the guy's a wheel man, and he showed it there.
He bought 300s for himself off the starting line over Frigo, had an additional 100th and a half to the 60-foot mark, and used a lot of it in getting that car wrangled back in.
Yeah, we were just going over our sheet here, and while we have winners of other races in the DI Winter Series, such as Stevie Jackson, Jason Harris, that are still in contention here, we've now lost all previous winners of the Drag Illustrated World Series of Pro Mod, either to not qualifying or here in the early rounds of eliminations.
The streak will continue. We are guaranteed a first-time winner. It is a very rare thing in a drag race to know that halfway through the first round that you're going to have somebody who's never won it before. We're already in that mode. It's going to make the rest of this day even more exciting than it already is. Johnny Camp plans to make this very exciting for Tommy D'April, but not in a way he's going to enjoy.
This is an interesting matchup because Tommy, we talked about his driving ability, his experience. Not that Johnny Camp has, you know, never been in these things before, but Tommy is a former IHRA Pro Mod World Champion, has driven these things on some, you know, shiftier tracks all over the country, into Canada even. So if this thing turns into a pedal fest, keep your eye on Tommy D. I think he's probably got more experience than Johnny, but Johnny's probably got the better car.
Yes, statistically speaking, through a qualifying, Camp's car rolling off the trailer has been next level good. D'April's car really didn't put any feet wrong. It was just Camp has been statistically quicker throughout the week, and that could either work in his favor or against him. In these conditions, we're seeing everybody battle through. Outside of Billy Banica and Kenny Lang, everybody else has had to use their right foot judiciously to get to the finish line first. R&R Racing Products, right trailers for D'April. Locked in. A red light start for Johnny Camp, and Camp is going to be very regretful of that. 65.9, low ET of the round, and he is out the gate eliminated. D'April moves on with a 72.
090 red just pushed it too hard, knowing he was going to have to do that against Tommy D, who had an 028, a 365 at 209, the best run of the round so far, but going to go home early.
Brutal, and D'April was everything he said he was going to be. 28 green. The reason these things happen against certain drivers is because their reputation precedes them. D'April's as being that lockdown starting line professional, and he lived up to it. Johnny Camp was just too early for his own good.
So we've got Ned Dunphy and Jason Lee.
Yeah, this was a very interesting matchup for so many reasons. You know, Dunphy was, I think, overjoyed to be in the position he was in last night in the chip draw down there, and they've been working really hard with this car. The guy is dedicated to what he's doing out here. The results showed multiple runs in the very low 60s and ended up qualifying with a 59-1.
Jason Lee, if he was thrilled, he just shows it less.
Yes.
We'll say that, a very serious demeanor as he's, you know, probably constantly turning over in his head what he's going to do in his car and His car.
He reminds me of the actor Robert Patrick in Terminator 2, the liquid Terminator guy. He reminds me of that a little bit.
If he starts to like have a giant spike for the right arm here soon,
we'll know.
Yeah, it's going to get real scary. But look how he's moved over to the left of this lane. He had the door swung open on when he was backed up on his burnout, and it was just about to touch the leg of this easy up awning. So you can start to see some of the bald spot developing to the right of the car. He's going to find some pressure rubber as he's moved over about a tire width.
Oh, boy. Dunphy heard footsteps, saw a ghost or something. 184 red for Ned. No dice, and he is going to be even more disappointed because Lee just rattled and shook his way to a 451.
Yeah, you almost have to think with a 184 red, maybe a mechanical issue caused that car to just roll. No, he was just ready to go, and the car wasn't. Spit something out the back. Let's watch Lee. He looked okay early, but just right here starts to shake further down that right lane, as we've seen, and really zinged the RPM went way up as that car started to blow the tires off.
If there's any solace to Ned Dunphy, he wasn't really going to catch him anyway.
Yeah.
Man, this is the one I have been looking forward to most in the first round. Drag Illustrated Rookie of the Year for the Winter Series presented by J&A Service. Peter Norton taking on Lyle Barnett. Billy Banica, the man who had that big speed in the first round, met up with Kayla after his run.
Billy, you had one of the cleanest runs so far in this round. Props to your tuner because he did a good job, and you went right down there A to B.
Yeah, Brandon's great. He is one of the best. Did a great job. Our team, everybody, all collectively, here we are.
Good luck in round two. I can't wait to see you up here.
Thank you. I can't wait to be here.
4 more rounds to go for the winners of round one. Lyle Barnett, Pete Norton trying to join him.
Yeah, he's trying to catch his breath down there. And it's, I mean, and even that situation where he had a clean run, this deal will take your breath away. And we see Norton here lined up in kind of that same area where Jason Lee just was. We see a lot of these Ricky Jones cars. We saw Hayward, we saw Norton sort of take a different position on the starting line.
It'd be interesting to know if the Joneses went back and made adjustments, whether it's launch RPM. There's certainly a few things you can get into with these cars, especially with the FI. You get a different timing curve in them very quickly. Things you can do to tame them down, perhaps. We saw the Ryan Hayward car spin. They don't want to meet that same fate against Lyle Barnett. Barnett gets loose, and Pete Norton doing the job. 365 for a 207. That is the quickest run of the first round.
Yeah, they're starting to figure this thing out. Lyle, he's had that big speed all weekend, and I was thinking, is he going to kind of take the Banica approach where ease this thing through the first half and then rely on that power? But still just too much early for Lyle. He tried to pedal it a couple of times, but Norton was streaking away straight down the center of that lane.
And Lyle was 001.
Wow, he was
on the
ready,
starting
man.
line.
He was ready to do his job. Unfortunately, didn't have the car underneath him today.
This is the You Again matchup with Ryan Martin and Sean Ellington.
If this thing devolves into a pedal fest, these are two guys that are used to navigating tricky conditions. We'll see how that possibly comes into play.
The Ramjack, Keith Haney Racing, Kremer Trucking, Central Power Systems, Baby Blue Camaro, Murder Nova Sean Ellington, and Ryan Martin. And you mentioned this yesterday. You can go into a little bit more about it. This car is actually owned by some Australian guys.
Yeah, it is. Ryan was kind of telling us the story when we had him on the West Buck show. This is something they've been putting together for a while and really hope to have it ready for the Snowbirds. He was going to try to run Pro Mod in all 3 of the Winter Series races. But one thing led to another. Actually, I think the True 10.5 deal came out. He had a car ready to go for that, was able to participate with us in that class. But now that the car's ready, they had some time to test it. Felt like this was the place to debut it.
Of course, both men hailing from Oklahoma. Both guys, massive talents and personalities. Both guys will end up seeing on the NHRA Tour this year as well. It's part of the limited series they're running out there. But for Ryan Martin and Sean Ellington, all that matters now is a win light. And it's going to be Ellington. What a run. Ellington goes 82 at 200 miles an hour, but Martin seemed to be right there with him.
Yeah, pretty close off the starting line, 0.33 to 0.42. But then Ryan started to fall off before the 3:30. Looked like, yeah, just hearing the sound. We're not going to hear it right here, but at this somewhere at this, yeah, huge shake right there for Sean, and he had a quick blip of the throttle to clean that thing up and get down through there, 382 at 200.
Yeah, and you could see, I mean, even Sean, like you said, nice pedal move there when the thing started to get a little sideways. He settles down as Stevie Fast Jackson and Raymond Matos come up right now. Jackson, the most recent winner of the J&A Service Drag Illustrated Winter Series with his dramatic finish at the U.S. Street Nationals.
These guys are all on high alert at this point, too. I think they're almost ready to pedal. Let's go down to talk to Randy Weatherford, get his thoughts on it.
Randy Weatherford, one of my favorite drivers, if not my favorite. You have had some struggles, skipped qualifying round number 4 and 5, but you got yourself a round win here and made a really clean pass.
Oh my God, I knocked the crank out of the motor yesterday. Got this motor, came in last night, we put it in. We're about 1 o'clock, we fired it up and stuff. Just got through this shaking event. God hope this track gets better and stuff, but at least we're moving on to the next one. And hey, it's WS Construction, my sponsorship.
Hit me with a one-liner, Randy.
I still got the gun. The rabbit still got the gun. I haven't gave up.
There it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on cue is Stevie Fast Jackson. You may be saying, well, which car is Stevie Fast? I see a blue Camaro, and I see a multicolored purple Camaro across the road.
Yeah, he's surprised us with this, jumping into this, the purple Gorilla, or the, what did Court call it?
Purple People
Gapper. Purple People Gapper in the left lane. In the right, there's a look at the car we were just describing, and Raymond Matos in his brand new car in the right lane. See if the experience of Stevie Jackson and the familiarity with this car comes into play. Raymond Matos with that relatively improved machine so far.
Matos has big problems at the car on 2 wheels. Jackson goes 373.5 at 204 miles an hour. A yeoman-like effort for Jackson, but a successful one. The reaction time 16 and 17.
Yeah, both guys were ready on the tree. We saw both sides of Raymond's car as he went down through there. That'd be a shame to put a scratch on that brand new machine, and luckily he was able to escape with no damage. But man, he was using up that entire lane. Wow, stayed with it, stayed with that shake. You could see it continuing to paddle as he washed out to the right.
Man, yeah, the pedal job, when the thing jumps up in the air like that, you always kind of hold your breath because it can end in tears as Jason Harris and Greg Blevins Jr. come up.
To me, this is the matchup of the first round. You've got a guy that's got the ability to win this race, like we talked about Jason Harris. Both do, really, but kind of a, I don't know, snake in the grass, or whatever you want to say, that's ready to jump up and bite is Greg Blevins. He's been really consistent with this car, especially last night as he got that brand new engine brought in. Went straight down with a 359, I believe his best run of the weekend. Harris, as consistent as always, maybe a tick off the pace he wanted to be, but always one of the best on race day, one of the most experienced out here through multiple PDRA Pro Nitrous championships, other classes he raced before that, made the transition to Pro Boost, multiple Pro Boost championships as well in this car. So this is one guy where, you know, Blevins, he's got an amazing team and car, and Jamie Miller, those guys over there, but this would be an upset if he takes out Jason Harris.
The Carbon Watch Company, Southern Diamond, CE Choke Express, the sponsors for Jason Harris. Greg Blevins Jr., Benton, Michigan's home. Wants to extend his visit to Florida as deep into the afternoon and evening as he possibly can. Both machines now ready to go. Harris began the Winter Series in the most dominating fashion possible. And he ends the Winter Series with a first-round loss, 364-2 at 209. Blevins just pulled a rabbit out of the hat, low ET of the round.
Man, that's, you know, something that was just in the back of my mind that could happen. Not necessarily Blevins making low ET of the round, but getting down through here as consistently as he has. Like I said, definitely an upset on paper with everything that we talked about with Jason Harris, but with the way Blevins has been performing, you can't really call it an upset.
You know, Harris, to his credit, hung with it as far as he possibly could. And it was interesting because the car did get out a little bit of distance before it started to try to rotate to the right. And so Greg Blevins has slayed the Snowbird's beast in Jason Harris. Ethan Stedding and Derek Menholt coming up right now. We had a kind of a pre-race favorite for a lot of people in Ethan Stedding, and he's been delivering his end of the bargain with these great elapsed times. And then Derek Menholt, who came up just short to Stevie Fast Jackson less than a month ago, is to me the in-race favorite at this point, just from going out there. The one thing we saw last night that was interesting, and not in a good way for Menholt, was the fact that this car did drop a cylinder. Mentioned it to him, and he mentioned it to me actually at the chip draw last night. He said they think they pinpointed why, but it'll be interesting to see if they can keep all 8 left.
Yeah, and I mean, that kind of goes against what we saw for basically over 2 entire races at this point, and this car's been so consistent. We actually awarded it our best engineered car last night with our special awards. Obviously a beautiful machine.
And we kind of made a joke about it because when it did that, it ran like a 58.7 instead of the 57s. We're like, oh, they better be nervous.
Yeah, we jinxed it.
But these guys know that you have to be flawless on this race day.
I think at this point, the right lane's got to be favored. Menholt, he does have lane choice in this matchup. He took the right lane. It seems to be the most consistent, or at least the most troublesome area of this lane is further down. We'll see what Ty Tutterow, and that team, Brad Schmidt, what they have loaded in Ethan Stedding's car, if they can navigate this tricky left lane.
Second to last pair of round 1. Taking 32 cars and making them 16. And it may not be the 16 cars everybody expected to see in that part of the day. Derek Menholt takes a deep breath and moves his Corvette ahead. Here we go again.
Oh, well.
Here we go again at Stedding. 392, 4 at 200. Menholt's car, he tried desperately early to get it back under control, but it jumped sideways on him.
I was watching Stedding. He shook about where we've seen everyone else. Violent shake, able to get back in it. Menholt really surprising with that shake. The fact that, the Brandon Stroud tune. We've seen a couple of these Brandon Stroud cars go right down through there. A key to this also 018 light for Stedding to Menholt's 037. And Menholt way out of shape, not able to get back in it as quickly as Stedding did.
Man, you saw that thing almost jump all 4 tires off the ground. We have to give big credit to Ethan Stedding there. That was, especially from the view we got from the starting line, that was a masterful pedal job in that car. I avoided having that situation where the thing was unbalanced, kept the kind of weight where it needed to be, and he was able to drive the car right out of it as Travis Harvey and Eric Gustafson will close out the first round of eliminations here. And this was one of those picks. When the 2 men stood up, the whole room took a gasp last night.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this. I mean, these are not the conditions for Gustafson's car. We've talked about this a lot. This car especially just does not like these conditions at this point in the day, the way it does early in the morning or late at night. And then Travis Harvey and his starting line prowess and his driving ability, how does that get into the mind of his opponent? And Now we find ourselves in a situation where in perfect conditions, Gustafson would have to be the favorite here. But in this situation, Harvey, with his experience, his driving ability, both guys kind of on edge, ready to pedal these things if that happens, and also who's going to get the starting line advantage. This is playing into Travis Harvey's hands at this point.
Absolutely, could not agree more with every point you just made. Gustafson went out via red light previously. He does not want to have that situation arise again.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, with Harvey, you don't want to push it too hard.
No.
You don't want to let yourself go red because you're pushing it too hard. You've got to be solid green and then hope this car is able to make a pass close to what it's able to do in the good conditions. And that's kind of like the last frontier for this combination to be able to navigate. If they go down through here and lay down a mid-60 with this car, Gustafson's going to be one to watch the rest of the day.
Huge starting line advantage. It was Gustafson on both ends and goes 360 at 210 miles an hour. That is incredible.
That, I mean, that is the surprise and the run of the day for sure.
That's the run of the Winter Series right now.
0:45. We talked all those things. Who's going to be able to have the best light? Who's going to navigate the pedaling that we've seen? It ends up being Gustafson with an 0:45 straight down Broadway, 929 60 foot, 243 with a 5, 360 with a 6 at 210 miles per hour. They are here to play.
That is jaw-dropping. He outpaced the field by 0.04 of a second.
Unreal.
Man. And so, yes, the hunter has become the hunted. And Randy Weatherford, I know the rabbit still has the gun, but by all means, do not pull that guy's name out of a hat. I don't know what kind of firearm the rabbit's holding, but Eric may have a bigger one in his back pocket. That was an amazing run. Racetrack's getting touched up now. We have our Outlaw Light Beer wild card field, which will be coming up next. The race for $25,000. Greg Blevins took out Jason Harris, the points leader, and he spoke to Kayla after that happened.
Greg Blevins, you just delivered a major upset of round one. You are pumped, and you took out the points leader.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's all for my team right there. I'll let them down at the U.S. Street with the 001 red against Callie. And I owed them one, right? And I just said, I believe in my team. I've been saying it to the best in the business. We won a championship in LDR because of them. That was for them. They worked their ass off all week since we've been here, nonstop, never quit like a machine, and I'm so stoked. Get in where you fucking fit in. Sorry.
Boom! I like it. I'll take it.
Greg Blevins very, very fired up at the top end. We're going to take a quick break as the track is touched up for the next round of Pro Mods, which will be the Outlaw Light Beer wild card race. We'll talk about the second round upcoming. It's going to be all good stuff. Don't go anywhere. It is the Redline Oil World Series of Pro Mod at Bradenton Motorsports Park.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me. Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me. Proven by me. Proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
We drive tech. We drive the industry. Going beyond the limits and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
When you use Hot Shot's secret oil and fuel additives, you get decades worth of cutting-edge innovation. Innovation that saves you money and maximizes efficiency and performance. Hot Shot's secret started with a mission to solve one engine problem. Today, we have solutions for all kinds of common issues that impact your bottom line. From our world-class lab to your cars, trucks, and equipment, Hot Shot's secret is powered by science.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me. Formulated to win, Proven by me. Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me. Proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Hey, wait. For one moment, one shot, and in about 3.5 seconds, it's over.
The Red Line Oil PDRA Drag Racing Series comes to Darlington Dragway, March 25th or 28th. The KTR PDRA Carolina Nationals, presented by PD Fleet, the most extreme pro mods on earth. Get your tickets now and don't miss a second. See it, hear it, feel it. PDRA.